You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Wilfred After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Wilfred After Show.
Yeah, give me that applause.
Yes.
So
That's
deserved.
right.
So richly, yeah. So richly.
Guys, Bing's for doing. We're here to do a little podcast for a television show called Wilfred.
Yay.
Tonight's episode, titled Dignity.
Huh.
Which is funny, because we have none left.
Yes. Yes.
As always, I am John Barrett.
I'm Greg Goodness.
I am Chevonne Hughes.
Unfortunately, tonight, Jack Waz couldn't make it. He was either saving a bunch of orphans from being murdered or murdering a bunch of orphans.
Yeah, got lost in translation.
It wasn't clear.
He was saving a bunch of orphans so he could then murder them himself.
I think the auto text on his phone got a little crazy. That
That
what it
makes
was.
sense.
Yeah.
Jack just loves... Jack doesn't like to see orphans die because he likes to do the job himself.
He likes to see them die, but only by his hand.
Exactly.
Oh man.
It has something to do with his religious upbringing.
I was gonna name one, but I was like, nah, I don't want to go there. Name one. I don't want to do that.
So, guys, tonight's episode, Dignity.
Yeah. A lot of people lost their
A lot of people lost theirs. And from the get-go, someone who looks like he has a tiny bit less dignity than normal, Mr. Wilfred himself.
Very strange. We don't normally see Wilfred as a pawn in these
Yes.
episodes, but I think this was one of the first times where Wilfred wasn't manipulating Ryan to his own ulterior motive. Sometimes you see Ryan, who you think he's controlling Wilfred, and he thinks that he's using
Right,
Wilfred
but
to get what he
Wilfred
wants.
gets it and turns it on Ryan. In this episode, Wilfred's just straight up getting his ass kicked by Ryan in the brain department.
He doesn't even notice.
He doesn't even
He
know.
doesn't care.
He doesn't care. What's going on? I don't care.
He's too whacked out trying to put his head in bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
he's there to
this-
do Ryan's bidding.
That describes his mental state pretty well throughout this entire episode. Was
Exactly.
Wilfred was in a bag from which he could not escape.
So more background for those of you who, for some reason, are watching this and didn't watch the show.
Which I'm
Wilfred-
totally okay with.
It's good to
Yeah,
have
no.
a recap
Yeah.
that people
Yeah.
need to know.
Turns out Ryan's boss super into dogs, and Wilfred tickles him in the right place that a dog should tickle him, I guess.
Yes.
But the boss does not tickle Wilfred in the right place.
No,
Yeah, he
Against
goes
the grain.
against. Yeah.
he goes against the grain, which Wilfred does not care for.
If you ever try to do that to a dog, they get pissed.
Yeah.
They immediately just shun away
Yeah.
from you.
He was literally rubbing Wilfred
It was-
the wrong way.
That scene.
Tail to head.
Yeah. Well, there are often some times when I'm watching this show and I'm like, well, that must have been really awkward to film. Like the actual moment of filming it. I don't know how many takes they would have gone through. I would have been cracking up if I was the boss or if I was Jason Gann, whatever.
Who wouldn't want to spoon Wilfred? I mean, I'm as straight man can be. But listen, I would love to have
Debatable.
a giant...
But he straight up pretzeled Wilfred. It wasn't even like it was like
I would do it.
First
Like
off,
a wrestling move.
In a hot New York minute, I'd be like, listen, Wilfred, you're a man in a dog suit, and I bet you could keep me snugly warm throughout the mini Arctic that is my room, because Jack decides that we need to have like Antarctic level temperatures in our apartment.
in fairness to that guy who I see in everything but can't remember his name,
To Steve Weber?
Ryan's boss.
Yes, Ryan's boss
From Wings.
is petting a dog.
Yeah.
Wings?
He's from Wings. Yeah.
I don't know that.
I didn't know about that either.
He's just like one of those guys, you
Yeah.
know, who you see all the time and you don't remember his name.
I'm sure he loves that description.
But that's
He's
Yeah.
working. Hey.
you know,
Whatever.
It's like what's his name? I guess Gary Oldman
Yes,
is
you
one of
wouldn't-
them.
He's
you
that
wouldn't be
guy,
proving your point
just
if you
like
could.
what's
If you
his
could,
name?
yeah, you wouldn't be proving your point if you could name him.
Yeah, I think there's a great article on crack.com about this. And listing like 10 guys that like you're like, "Oh, that's his
That guy.
name." But anyway, just keep in mind that guy is petting a dog. He's not in
In the world of-
reality of
it,
Wilfred.
yes.
He's just playing with a dog. He's not spooning a dude in a dog costume.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So what you're saying is that in my mind, that's supposed to then make less sense.
I'm lost already. I'm not gonna
Well, this is what
lie.
happens when we talk about Wilfred. What world are we living in?
Here.
Yeah.
You can't get out of here in my head.
Ah.
That is a little weird that he gets right down on the ground.
Yeah,
and just
I
gets
don't-
all up behind
I
him.
mean, I've never seen anyone pet a dog
Right.
like that.
But as we learn later on, we're not going to talk about it now. He does have issues with boundaries. So
Yeah, he's a little bit of a weirdo.
yeah,
We'll
get to that later.
Weirdo. But yeah, we're not used to seeing Ryan just straight up be like, Wilfred, do this for me, without there being anything in return.
Last week it was I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine,
Yeah.
and this was just straight up no scratching going on.
well, I
the
think
wrong
Wilfred
way.
got some pleasure out of having all that attention. He was definitely trying to be up to the challenge, trying to create new material,
True.
and hoping that Joe Piscopo doesn't steal it.
Yeah, but that's not. But. Bah. You know.
Bah.
You know.
Exactly. My
No,
sentiments exactly.
I think that this is an interesting departure. I think that we're probably going to have to see it a lot more because you can't. A season cannot sustain on the same old thing going on where, Wilfred's getting the better of him again.
Right.
It's like an old-timey sitcom, British sitcom. You know, get me Hennemore.
Yeah. Animal.
In which the same thing happens week after week after week. I think it was interesting. I think we're gonna have to take some time to get used to it and to settle into it, and maybe just appreciate that for what it is. Because this was so jarring for me that the entire episode I was kind of sitting there like, how is Wilfred benefiting from this? I don't understand. And it
Guys
turns out
do
he
that a
doesn't have
lot
to.
though with their dogs. Like I hear they use that, dogs to like pick up girls. and stuff.
That's what God made dogs for.
I'm not gonna lie. When I'm walking, but the thing
Right, but
is, if the dog is what attracts me to you, if you're not cute enough to overshadow the
we
cuteness,
know what's happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys always know everything a guy does is a ploy.
So you
It's
guys are
some
actually
sort
smarter
of
than we think that
ploy.
you are. Okay.
No, it's not
No,
even. No,
we're
it's not
millions.
You're
smartness.
craftier. No,
we are
no.
exactly as dumb as everyone
Yeah.
thinks we are.
That's what all my girlfriends say. They're like, guys
Except-
are really simple.
Except that we can come up with the most convoluted plans in the world. If the end result is we gonna get our dicks wet. Okay?
Right.
Or women find us marginally more attractive.
Basically, we will. Everything that has ever happened at the hands of a man
Yes.
has been because he thought, I'm probably going to get to look at boobs because of this.
So the Afghanistan war.
Totally about boobs.
Gotcha.
Although
Totally.
It makes so much sense
sometimes
now.
Some things done in the hands of man is because we didn't get to
Yeah,
see
that's
boobs.
true.
Sometimes.
Napoleon.
Speaking of loving
Speaking of loving,
and
guys.
the lack thereof,
Oh yeah.
Hey, speaking of it, you guys want to talk a minute about this little thing we got going on AfterBuzzTV.com?
do I ever?
See, on AfterBuzzTV.com, folks, where I hope you are while you're listening to this, there's a little banner, little clickable link right there to Amazon.com. You doing some shopping on Amazon.com? You're gonna do shopping on Amazon.com. You've got
It's unavoidable.
Yeah.
got to buy some Bastille Day gifts for
Maybe you
for
want to
your
catch up on
families.
last season, buy the box set
You
of
want to
season
buy the
1 of
box
Wilfred.
set of
Maybe.
Wilfred, guys? You want to buy it?
Of course
You know where
do.
you can buy it?
What kind of idiot wouldn't?
You can buy it on Amazon.com. But here's the great thing:
There's more.
you don't need to go to
Yeah.
your navigation bar and type Amazon.com into it.
Who has the time?
No one does. It's ridiculous. But because you're already on AfterBuzzTV.com, you know what you can do? You can click on a little link we got there to Amazon, do your shopping there, and guess what? They give us a cut.
A little itty bitty.
Yeah.
So
slice
you
off the
save
top.
the time of having to do all that typing, and we get some money, and everybody wins.
Why did that feel so long? That felt really long.
It's legal money laundering, is what it is.
That's what it is.
Legal money for the mob.
Yeah.
Well, people can't tell me anything.
Say
People
that
can't
word
tell me
aloud.
anything.
Anyway, before I rudely interrupted Greg, I think he was about to indicate
I was about
something about our good friend Ryan.
Ryan
Yes.
treading into familiar territory in this episode in that he is a giant wimp.
He is a huge wimp.
Yes. I think you guys wanted to use the other euphemism for the female genitalia.
We're
but
trying to
we're
keep
not
it
trying
clean.
not to do it.
We already used up
Which
our
I
swear count
yeah,
when Jack
I
was
very
here
much
last
respect
week.
it. Thank you guys.
We used up the whole swear count for AfterBuzz when Jack was here. Here's a better word for it, because I think it really nails it, is wuss. He is a straight up wussy.
Just whiny and complaining and doing that whole which is fine. That's fine. That's his character.
Yeah, that's what
where
he
it's
is.
coming from. What was interesting and unique about this particular episode, maybe not unique, but unique to this season and unique to my own personal expectations,
Right.
is how far we regressed.
Yeah.
And how far, like, throughout last season, we kind of see Ryan building up a little bit of confidence and getting out there.
Yeah.
And he going and asking out this young lady at his office as of this episode.
Right.
But then right in there, it's just, he's back to all
Back
I
to
have
getting
to
walked
do.
all over. He cancels his date like 1,000 times at least. It's implied in the episode, and
yeah,
I
she's like,
think
yeah,
Up until
changing
that point,
scheduling.
that
and,
he's been
yeah.
pushing it for a while. I mean, he's just, is he even a man?
I don't know.
But here we've been like building that he's gonna make better decisions, and then all of a sudden he's not anymore, and then to prove how much of a wuss he is, it takes a talking dog to convince him to do it again, get back into it again. And the first person he stands up to is, well, actually the first thing he stands up to is Wilfred, to sort of,
Vicariously
Yeah.
being his dad.
right, to
Right.
just sort of begin this sort of breakthrough. And then he marches into his boss's office and just is like, I'm not going to take it any. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I forget what that movie is. That Michael Douglas movie where he's mad as hell and not going to take it anymore. Is that a thing?
No, not falling down. That one? No, not that one. Great movie,
Coffee
by
is
the
for winners.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's what I'm thinking.
No,
of.
it's not. I don't
No,
think
coffee
so.
is for closers.
That's right.
Anyway, he marches into his boss's office and tells him, I'm not going to finish this because I suck at my job.
way. And we need to
That's
set
what-
boundaries. That's
Okay,
what he
yeah,
said. I have
we
a
need to
date.
set
I have a
boundaries.
date. I'm
Now-
busy.
He had the chance earlier in the episode to say, "Oh no, that's not happening. I need this
Right.
amount of," and he didn't. So basically, he's not even like proving that he's strong.
Right.
He's taking back ground. You know what I mean?
That
Like
he's
like
lost.
he's getting back the. It's like taking the Rhineland back instead of stopping Hitler. And
What a perfect analogy.
Yeah,
it's
that
very
we can
nice.
use for this weekend report that's due.
but
Way to stay on the subtle side of things, John.
But really, he takes it like to the next. He takes it a little too far. The standing up to his boss thing. I think we can agree.
Because realistically, he would have been fired.
And
by barging
we
in,
need to
his
set
office alone.
boundaries is not a thing you get away with saying to your boss.
It's a weird thing to say. I think it was fine. I don't have nearly as much of a problem with it as I think you guys did. I think it's fine that he goes into his office and says, hey, this is crazy. I'm not going to do this. I've been up for 3 nights straight, yada, yada, and I'm good at my job. He doesn't say, oh, I'm shitty at my job, so I can't do. He says, I'm good at my job, but this is unrealistic. I have things I got to do.
He says, I have a date, though.
He does say that.
So what? That's not smart.
And also, I mean, again, we don't see him working on it until that Wednesday night or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like, we see
when they were
him
in the
work on
basement,
it a little bit.
When he was with Wilfred, they were trying to figure out a new act for Wilfred. Yeah.
So I got the impression that he was sort of snow day in it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he thought he had it made. The dog
so
was,
like, I feel like he probably. I feel like it was implied that he could have been working harder on this
until that point. But at the same time, a professor, your boss or whatever says, oh, well, don't worry about it. It's due Wednesday. I mean,
and then,
you got the weekends. You got however. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's due tomorrow. That's kind of a, What I thought was super weird, though, what you're saying about going 2 steps back, I don't even think it sets it up in this episode that, oh, he's taking back that ground. Because look how far he's come from backwards, how far he's come from the first season. He's back at a job that he hates.
That's a good point.
Which was the thing that he originally set off to, well, I'm just kicking around, which granted, like, I think is a positive thing. You need to have a job. You need to have like some direction. You can't sit around all day on your couch smoking weed with your dog. Not even your dog.
Yeah, your neighbor's dog.
Who's a very bad owner because it seems like she's gone a lot.
Yeah.
By the way.
She needs to get her act together. A lot of people without their acts together on this
But remember
show.
when
especially the people who like blowjobs from there.
can you talk about that?
They're simpleton.
Well, I remember like one of the last episodes of season 1, where Ryan became like the bat. You remember how he went back to the dark side because he was known for when he was an attorney before for being pretty cutthroaty. So now that he's back in his element, I feel like there are small little steps he's kind of taking going back into that world. Yeah. It's very subtle, like using Wilfred, I don't know, blackmailing his boss, which I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great point. He's becoming a little bit evil in his wimpiness.
But, show of hands, you catch your boss who you hate receiving fellatio from the simpleton janitor.
Right.
Are you gonna blackmail him? Show of hands.
In real life?
Yes, because I have no morals.
I would probably do it in a more subtle way. I might wait a bit. I might see what else I can get out of it.
See, he didn't even really blackmail him, though. I mean, it's sort of implied. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But he's not like, you give me the weekend off. Or
I'm telling everyone you're getting a
simpleton job.
Well, that's not how a good blackmailing works. You have to be very, you're
getting
about it. Gentle.
Brains. I just thought of that.
So, it's messed up on so many great levels.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. It's a term.
Okay.
I think it's an East Coast thing.
It's a rap thing, as I understand.
Huh.
It's one of those hip hoppers. So basically, I think the moral of this story is it takes witnessing a horrible, arrestable offense. I would imagine. I mean, I don't know what specific disability.
Yeah,
this gentleman
they didn't really get
has.
specific with that.
Slow Piscopo. Which is so mean.
Oh, is that what he said? I just thought he said Joe
Nope,
Piscopo.
he called him Slow Piscopo.
Oh, that's funny.
We're continuing on with the nicknames of last episode.
First off, Slow Piscopo is so funny and so horrible. But second, depending on what type and the severity of the disability he has, that could be rape.
Yeah. So technically, Ryan should be doing a whole lot more than demanding the week off.
Ryan is such a wuss that he can only like really stand up to his boss when he's doing something super illegal.
Well, don't we have like a Joe Paterno situation right there with someone walking in on the situation and not saying anything?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Dark.
Yeah,
Very
it's dark. Also, Joe Paterno didn't walk in on anything.
No, I'm sorry. Someone else, another guy walked in on Joe
Walked
Paterno.
in on Jerry Sandusky.
Oh, I don't know.
Told Joe Paterno exactly what happened, and then Joe Paterno didn't say shh about
Shizzle?
it to anybody.
Didn't say shh.
Actually, no, he took it to, after a day of going over it in his head, he took it to his boss.
That's a very thorough analysis.
Yes.
No
But you
one
get
knows-
what I mean.
No one knows pedophilia like John.
I know, that's a little strange.
I'm the only
Sorry,
person in
I
this
had
room
to.
who watches ESPN, and I think what's up.
Nah, that's really what it is.
And they went over it in great... there are way more details I could give you that you don't want to hear.
We can talk about it off air.
Yeah, we will. And we will.
Give me a brief on it.
But first, let me tell all of you on air.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sure.
Great segue, right, guys?
You are a master at this.
I suck so bad at everything. So, I don't know if you're familiar with this company. They're from, I think, the Pacific Northwest, and I think they're called Apple. And they have this little thing.
a great name.
It is,
Yeah.
right? It's really
Yeah.
catchy and all that. They have this little thing. It's called, I think it's the next big thing. I think it's going to catch on. It's called iTunes. And it's like a...
iTunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be...
Is it like a
iTunes.
cartoon service?
No,
You-
it's like
with Warner
song
Brothers?
tune. It's like song
Oh,
tune.
okay.
Oh,
Here's the thing, though. They do more than just songs.
really?
Yeah. There is, you can stream video, and now they have a podcast app in their store
Shut your mouth.
for your iPhone and your iPad.
Really?
But also, they have like a database of podcasts. And we're a podcast.
Oh,
Interesting,
I
right?
always wondered what we
Could
were.
you
Yeah.
could you maybe like subscribe to
You
our podcast?
could subscribe to our podcast.
Yeah, and then
That's
rate
exactly a thing.
and comment.
Yes, you can listen to us on iTunes and then rate. There's like a little star buttons.
Right.
Click on those stars. Preferably five of them.
Yeah, whatever.
But if you don't think we're that good, you can do it. But it's gonna make Greg cry.
And I cry a lot. let me
Greg
tell
cries
you.
easy. And then if you would be so kind as to comment, tell us what you like about the show, what you don't like, what you like about Greg, what you don't like.
Really harp
Everything
on
about
what you
Greg.
don't like. Really harp on it.
Because he just doesn't learn.
Oh, we're picking on him now.
But also, really, what we want to hear about is how much better we are without Jack. And just how mean Jack is. Sorry.
I
He's
think
not
you've
around
just
to
thrown down the
defend
gauntlet
himself.
now. We're gonna have a war when he comes back next week.
He's not going to listen to this.
He's far too busy killing orphans. He can't work it into his schedule.
Why do I see like tears of the sun in my head when I think of killing orphans?
He just loves it so much. Here's the thing that happens in this episode that we don't see very frequently. We got Wilfred clamoring for human attention again. What's up with this?
Wilfred loves attention. Wilfred loves getting his belly scratched, and he loves putting on a show, but he has never been this completely
He
dependent
was
on a group
thirsty.
of
He was thirsty
strangers,
for attention.
which was really weird and
I think
really
it-
funny.
It came from Drew. That's totally where it spawned from.
I mean, yeah, if we want to psychoanalyze a dog, this is Drew's fault.
Yes, it's the bro's fault.
Yeah.
That's true. We have seen him being all neglected and whatnot, so this makes sense. It's
Yeah.
a logical jump, but definitely interesting to see. Very strange.
Yeah, bizarre. Real bizarre. Watching him try and plan cute dog stuff to do to people. Which
The whole board, they had
now
a
it's like
board for it.
now every time a dog does a cute dog thing, I'm gonna be like, oh, he stayed up all night
Right.
plotting this on his little cardboard thing, his bulletin board with his stuffed
Right.
sex bear.
Had he actually pulled off that like sliding into the wall thing, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But he fudged it up.
Yeah.
See how I caught myself there?
Yeah.
Fudged it up.
What were some of the other ones he had? Well, first off,
sleeping.
I love his little line. One man's trash is another man's feng shui, which is great.
Not to get too off track from him being a attention whore. Well, not it kind of is in step with it. Is Wilfred tearing up the house?
Yeah, that was great.
Just calling out, "I'm bored!" as he's pulling out stuffing.
That's another great.
Just dog
moment.
moment.
Yeah, they've been lacking in the sort of human version of the dog moments. This episode or this season, and they had that was a great little segment of those.
Strong back into it.
He had like a painting tool, and he was just
digging into
he was just scraping
Knocking off a
like a cheap
chessboard.
veneer.
Which, that was really well done.
The
and
crate.
him just like kicking all the stuff off the table.
Yeah. And
that was
Chevonne,
really
yes, the crate.
The crate.
Which,
He had to be crate trained.
I wondered when they were going to address that, and I totally want to see him stuffed into a dog crate.
That's
It was a huge crate.
I want to see him in like a travel crate.
being loaded onto a plane.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, but it's funny because I think I've been in an office like once or twice where people have brought their dogs in, other than at Second City, people bring their dog in all the time. And my apologies to Mary Beth Monroe of Workaholics. I almost killed your dog last week.
Name drop.
Her dog was like
Dog
running.
killing name drop, everybody.
She has like a tiny little dog, and it was running around by our feet in the hallway.
And you're such a
And you
big
stepped
man.
on
I'm
it.
a big, dumb
Who does
klutz
not
of
pay
a man, but I
attention.
didn't step on it. I was paying enough attention to not step on it. Anyway.
No one stepped on Wilfred.
Dogs love attention. No one stepped on Wilfred. I think Wilfred's like a medium-sized dog, though.
He's a big-sized dog. If the boss can get down and get all
Yeah.
huggy on the back.
Like one of those sheepdogs,
Yeah,
right?
Wilfred's a large fellow.
Well, I like that he decided to turn in a letter of resignation as the office dog.
Well, us Mad Men fans, a letter of resignation has a lot deeper of a meaning.
Yeah, you usually end up hanging yourself in your office afterwards.
Oh, is it? Well, thanks, guys.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Yeah,
Oh, whatever.
jerks.
If you didn't watch it, you're late.
At least we didn't say who it was.
Yes.
Right. I think we're going to see more of this side of Wilfred.
Yeah,
That's
I think so,
a
too.
prediction-y thing, but I think Wilfred's need for love, as Ryan is becoming more sort of, I'm going to be my own man.
Yeah, I think we're
and
going to see...
taking advantage of Wilfred, we're going to see him needing love a lot
And I
more.
believe that sort of... The nature of that relationship is discussed a little bit by Mr. Zuckerman?
Yes,
Zuckercorn?
by the showrunner himself, in an article that we're going to be discussing after the commercial break.
Let's do that.
Hey there, good buddies. The handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man, no. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AFTERBUZZ TV. And why? Because AFTERBUZZ TV is like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows. Like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AFTERBUZZ TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Woo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AFTERBUZZ TV goodness. Check them out, give them a holler, and tell them the old Woolly Bear sent you.
XOXO Woolly Bear.
I like Willie Bear a lot better than the disgruntled
Then
office.
I hate everyone in my office. Ah! All right.
It was good for the time being.
I love that he
but
watches Gossip
Anyway.
Girl.
Hollywood... Yeah, I know. XOXO, guys.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
The Hollywood Reporter... That's the publication?
That is the publication. Find one at
recently ran us a little bit of a interview with Mr. David Zuckerman.
the showrunner of Wilfred.
That's right.
And there was a lot of sort of standards, season 2 prattle, what have you. They asked him how he felt about being on with Charlie Sheen in the same rotation. He's like, I don't know, I haven't watched the show. I thought I haven't got around to it.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how I'm sure he talks.
Anger Management did 5.5 million last week.
Really?
They
Yeah.
did really
Well,
well.
congratulations for them.
Yeah.
More power to them.
I don't get it, but whatever.
David Zuckerman, if there's one thing that I think is really interesting to take out of this article, and I want everyone to hear. They asked him right off the bat, what's the theme for season 2? Which is a huge question,
Yeah.
and not one that I think a lot of people would answer. But right away, like off the bat, David goes into, and I quote, "The first season's theme overall was living courageously, and the second is more about living honestly. We have a few episodes where the titles are secrets, truth, honesty, and that is our overreaching theme. Definition of healthy and normal are also questioned."
So there it is.
So if you're wondering what's going to be coming up during season 2, that's what you have to look forward to. And I think they've touched on it a lot already.
Yeah.
The web exclusive episode, definitely. What's the definition of healthy? My God, he's a mentalist.
So guys, check out that little interview conducted by Ms. Leslie Goldberg, and that's over on the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah, a lot more interesting stuff to check out.
Interesting
there,
questions get answered, and it's fun. Read it.
It's a good time.
Read. Learn to read, America. That's my
Knowledge is power.
yes.
You're so angry on that.
You
know what would calm you down? Some spooky theremin music.
that would spooky theremins.
And
You gotta
now,
undulate the
your
throat.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Go!
Guys, I think they're setting up a lot of patterns, which is making it easy to predict stuff. Also, I mean, we know what the theme is for the season.
Yeah.
So I predict that they're going to deal with living more honestly and questioning what is health.
Yes.
Such a jerk.
God, it's so insightful. Are you writing a book right now? Well, you should. If you're not.
I know.
Okay.
I really should.
I think we're going to see Ryan literally revert back to his old
Evil.
self.
You mean like
Like
post-suicidal?
Not that version. I think like pre-mental breakdown, where he's like super work driven and he's gonna start manipulating people around him, and he's gonna be on this power trip. And I think Wilfred is gonna have to bring him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's a pretty healthy assumption. I will say I'm really kind of curious to see how bad he could get. I feel like
How
he could
far
get
he can
how
go.
far he could go, just because we got that little hint in that little last episode.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
I think he's going to sabotage his relationship with the girl at work.
no,
And
so
I
cute.
think he's
she's
going to
cool.
I know, but-
unbelievably cute.
but he's gonna blow it. I don't know if he's gonna blow it from being a wuss or from being a hard ass, but he's gonna blow it.
Well, at least someone got blown in that episode.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, at least someone got a blowjob, guys, and that's the best we can hope for every week. So, hey, guys, tell us where we can find you and what you're doing and all that crap.
I'm working on a web series on GameRevolution.com. It's called The Grind. Check it out.
Chevonne Hughes. I'm still working on that play. Come see it the 20th to the 22nd at the Lounge Theater in LA. It's called Our House.
Right on.
And again, guys, guessing game. When am I gonna do it? It's gonna be in the papers.
Look for the papers.
Look for the papers.
I'm gonna have to call you now, like every 5 minutes tonight.
Also, you can follow me on Twitter at @JDuganBarrett and find updates about my mental health, which is getting better now that Jack's not here. But we'll see what happens next week. Anyway, folks, we'll be here Thursday nights.
Yep.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Toodles.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.